B11 News at 6.
Hello and thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Faith Woodard alongside Brooke Buckner and Chief Meteorologist Tom Brannon. Tom, it was a sunny day with temperatures getting up to the 50s.
The high 50s today.
The high 50s.
A few extra bonus temperature numbers there for you this afternoon.
Well, it's not going to last long, though, right?
No, we do have some colder air on the way.
This weekend's going to be terrible.
It's okay.
I'm not leaving my house.
I think that's all you need to know. Let's get the news, right?
That's the forecast.
Terrible.
We did make it to 57 in Little Rock. Lots of 50s out there. I've had 55. 57's great. Tomorrow's going to be even better. And then, yeah, the weekend's going to be terrible, according to Faith and Brooke. You know, it is going to get colder, especially Sunday. The coldest air of the season is on the way, and it begins to arrive Saturday with highs only near 50 Saturday. Sunday and Monday, we have weather impact alert days because of this blast of Arctic air that's coming in. It's not going to stick around long, but it is the coldest air thus far. Wind chill values will be in the single digits and teens. Low temperatures in the teens and low 20s with highs only in the 30s. Outside, it's a gorgeous evening. We had beautiful weather today with a few high-level clouds. They'll be in and out tomorrow. Our numbers currently are in the 40s and 50s. They're cooling quickly. If you have plans on being out and about, make sure you have a jacket or a sweater as you hit the door. Coming up, I'll take you a little more in depth into just how cold it's going to get in the weekend. Back to you.
We're taking a live look inside Bayou Elementary, where a former school janitor allegedly sexually assaulted and harassed at least one student. Parents were notified about the incident Friday in what some are calling a vague email, but according to court documents, the arrest happened in late October. The principal has since resigned, but many parents remain unhappy with the district and wanted superintendent to do the same. THV11's Catherine Rowley is there and will bring us the latest tonight at 10.
Meanwhile, a Lonoke County mother is suing Roblox and Snapchat, claiming both companies failed to protect her 14-year-old son from online predators. According to the lawsuit, the victim, identified as John Doe, began using Roblox in 2022 and shortly after met an adult male who groomed him and moved their chats to Snapchat before asking him to send explicit images. The family's attorneys say both companies put profits over safety and allow dangerous content to flourish. The suit seeks damages and demands stronger protections for children online.
Well, tonight we bring you the conclusion of the 3-day trial involving Desmond Nkala, the man prosecutors say fatally hit Officer Victor Montgomery 2 years ago as he was directing children and traffic on the first day of school. THV11's Maya Ellison spent the day in the courtroom once again and has the jury's decision.
The 3-day trial now comes to an end. Everything happening inside this courtroom behind me. The jury took about an hour of deliberating until they came out and made their decision, finding Desmond Nkala not guilty of 1 count of manslaughter after prosecutors accused him of fatally hitting Pulaski County Special School District security officer Victor Montgomery back in August of 2023. Now let's take a look at this trial overall. Over the course of 3 days, the jury was able to hear testimony from witnesses, the medical examiner, sleep specialist, Nkala's co-worker, and even his wife. Mr. Nkala himself testified that he has no recollection of what happened that day, as he told the jury he blacked out close to Joe T. Robinson High School. A year after the incident, Nkala was diagnosed with sleep apnea. Now, the state argued that Nkala should not have been behind the wheel, making the choice to drive home after working for more than 30 to 40 hours over the course of 3 days leading up to the incident. And we got a chance to hear from the families and their response to the jury's decision.
My sincere condolence to the family. My sincere condolence. My sincere condolence. I don't know how to reach out. We apologize for everything. It was an accident.
So I forgive him. And I have to forgive him to give myself peace and to be able to continue to love my kids. So I got closure.
And over the course of these 3 days, both families have been through this emotional roller coaster, not just through this trial, but as I've learned over the course of 2 years and when the verdict was heard, I got a chance to see both families' reaction. The Montgomery family holding on close to each other, the Nkala family tearful at the response. And as we heard from Mrs. Nkala, that they just asked for forgiveness. And for Mrs. Montgomery and her family, they now have that closure and the love that they hold on of Mr. Victor Montgomery. And if you want to learn more about this case and some of the additional details, you can go on our website at thv11.com.
All right, Maya, thank you. Former West Helena Mayor Chris Franklin is facing multiple charges for failing to pay or file state taxes. State police say he surrendered last Friday after investigators found he hadn't filed state tax returns for 4 of the last 5 years. He was booked and released with a court date set for January 5th. A second man, Josiah Walker, was also charged in the same investigation. He surrendered yesterday and will appear in court the same day. You may remember last month when every school district in Arkansas got a letter grade based on how their students were growing and performing.
While a majority of schools are doing well, there were 11 districts that got an F. Now THV 11's Carter Thweet tells us how some of those districts plan to address it.
Well, there were some tough questions being asked here at the Arch Ford Education Building today as the State Board of Education demands accountability from some of Central Arkansas's lower performing school districts.
What is going to be different?
That question was asked of North Little Rock Superintendent Gregory Paluski, whose district was rated an F back in November. He was one of several who spoke before the State Board Thursday to discuss how to turn things around.
The newly released letter grade for our school district as an F rating is totally unacceptable. Period.
Dr. Paluski told the board he'll turn things around by raising teacher salaries and addressing chronic absenteeism, among other things. A similar presentation came from Watson Chapel Superintendent Keith McGee, whose district also got an F.
The next report that I will give you will be more of a celebration. Good. And I will say this right here, in Watson Chapel, since my arrival, we don't tolerate excuses.
I believe you. I'm just saying I hear that a lot. Okay, we don't accept excuses. Everybody says it. But they accept a lot of excuses. I hope you don't.
Up next was Pine Bluff and their superintendent, Jennifer Barbary. Up till 2023, Pine Bluff schools were under state control due to low enrollment and revenue. And Barbary says they never want to go back.
We've created a vision for Pine Bluff School District. And our vision is that we will have a safe, supportive, and student-centered community for every child.
Barbary says that means requiring teachers and students to have conversations about that student's goals and providing interventions and one-on-one teaching for the lowest performing students. The state says they'll be making sure all the F-rated districts stick to these plans.
This is a, life support kind of situation. This is critical.
In Little Rock, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
Thank you, Carter. The last district to present was Fordyce. The other 2 districts to present today were Crossett and Lafayette County, both in South Arkansas. The Arkansas Supreme Court delivered a landmark ruling today that figures to upend the state's direct democracy process. The High Court ruled that the state legislature can change amendments put in the state constitution by voters.
The case immediately reinstates some 24 laws passed by the legislature that set rules and limits for the state's medical marijuana program. Opponents argue lawmakers couldn't do that since voters approved the marijuana amendment, as is back in 2016.
But today, the Supreme Court says the Constitution does allow lawmakers to make changes if they approve them by a 2/3 vote. The petition groups pushing to enshrine the direct democracy process denounced the decision and said it showed why their proposals are necessary. The state is appealing a recent federal court ruling that cleared the way for those groups to gather signatures. Now to a THV 11 update. Organizers of the traffic calming project we first told you about in September, Slow Down SoMa, have some positive results to share. The temporary project consisted of a new median, added greenery, and painted bike lanes to slow down traffic in Little Rock's SoMa district. Today we're learning it was effective and drivers slowed down. The executive director of SoMa 501 says the average speed before the pop-up was 25 miles per hour, and during it decreased to 19.
Personally, I've seen folks slowing down a whole lot. And I think what's really interesting to see when the installation was in is how people navigated the turns. And so a lot of people were confused about how that might happen, but the drivers figured it out. Turns out we can have pedestrian safety and our cars in the same intersection.
She also says 70% of people say they felt safer crossing the intersection of 15th and Main with the installation in. She hopes to make that installation permanent by showing the city the results next month. And it's not too late to share your feedback on the project. You can fill out the survey by scanning the QR code on the blue Slow Down SoMa signs along Main Street.
Meanwhile, the Little Rock Municipal Airport Commission has named Suzanne Payton the new executive director of Clinton National Airport, following a nationwide search. Payton, a Little Rock native and longtime engineer, currently oversees planning, construction, and daily operations. She officially steps into the role January 1st. Airport leaders say her vision will guide the next phase of modernization and growth at Arkansas's largest airport, which serves most of the state and generates more than $1.7 billion in annual economic impact.
A routine blood test changed everything for a local cyclist, turning an active lifestyle upside down. Find out how a cutting-edge treatment is offering hope in today's Conquering Cancer.
Well, some changes coming about. First of all, tomorrow looks great. Low 60s for high temperatures and a stronger frontal boundary coming in with the coldest air of the season. You'll really feel the impacts by Sunday. I'll have your forecast when we come back.